Hey guys, just wanted to make a quick video here on data recovery. I'm working in my garage and trying to get a NAS going and testing out all my old hard drives to see what I can put in it. But just wanted to share this data recovery tip with you. So these old hard drives, or these spindle hard drives, these disk hard drives, they're all the same up to today. Basically, they have two components. So you can see this is a Seagate Barracuda 500 gigabyte and a certain model number. This one's the same. So let's say this drive goes bad. I can actually, let's see, this is the same drive over here. This drive is bad. So let's say this drive goes bad. I can take out the little screws, these little torque screws, a little torque screw wrench, and I can just lift this bad boy off. There's no solder or anything. It just pops right off. And you can see here that it has little connectors for power and data where it will connect on the back. And you can just drop it in and basically put in a new board. So I can take this board off if this is a good drive and put it on this one. Now, the reason you would do that is, let's say you have this drive and it starts to go, bad, whatever that means. So one indication it could be going bad is you could be hearing ticking sounds, and that's a clear sign that you need to get your stuff off of there because the read head is going bad. This little read head the discs sit between these read heads, and it just reads back and forth and grabs all your data off of the disk. So this guy's going bad. If, like the needle on a record player, if this is stuck in one position, it's just not going to read the data, and you're gonna have a problem. This here is the motor that spins the disks. These are the discs that would go into here. And that's pretty much it. I mean, if this motor goes bad, then when you plug in the drive, it will, you won't hear the drive spin up. And when you move the drive over, if you have a super quiet drive, if it has discs in it, you'll feel the centrifugal force when you basically spin the drive over. If you don't feel that, the drive is dead, or if you don't hear it, the drive is dead. So it's not getting power. So in which case, it could be this motor's burned out, or it could be that your circuit board is burned out. So in which case, just grab another one, put it on here. It's that simple. See, what other things you need to know? If it's ticking, any ticking noise, that's the sign that this is probably just spinning, kind of going back and forth like this. That's what makes the ticking sound. These were interesting. Let's see. So this guy gave a loud screeching sound, which I thought was going to be the drive. I didn't think this would make any noise, but must be some bad diode or something on here. So whenever it would be plugged in, not by itself, it had to be attached to a drive, it would make a loud screeching noise. And I tested that by basically attaching it to working drives, or drives I knew worked, and tested it out that way. And all these drives are basically making that screeching sound. Oh, okay, it's the board. And I put a good board on it, on one of those drives, and it worked fine. So I can roll it out. This one would actually turn off the power to my computer. So I would plug it in, either that or it wouldn't allow the power to start, right? I would usually plug in my drives to test them hot, so because all these SATA drives are hot swappable. So but if I did that, it would just shut off the power. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's definitely a circuit board issue. And I was right. I tested on multiple good working hard drives, and it would shut off my computer, which is not great. But in this one, this one wasn't loading the drive. It wasn't mounting. And when I was trying to troubleshoot it and kind of assess the drive, see if it was getting electricity, spinning, things like that, I noticed it started to smoke. So I said, yeah, that one's bad. So, but at any rate, let's see, anything else you would need to know? I mean, basically I've been looking at drives for easily 25 years, and solving problems with them. Really, when it's mechanical, there's nothing you can do with it. There have been, lots of things, lots of myths out there that you can put in a bag of rice if it gets, wet or something like that, and that'll absorb the water. These are pretty well sealed. Rice isn't going to do anything. You should put it in the oven if your hard drive's going bad. Don't do that. You could potentially put the bad board in the oven if you think it's a connection issue, like if there's no power. And the theory behind that is that these motherboards all have connectors, soldering connectors, like these lines and stuff. So if the problem was, and who knows if it is, but if the problem was that the connectors were broken over time, micro broken, if you were to put it into an oven, you could basically melt those connections and they could reconnect. That's pretty much the only reason that you would put something in the oven that I can think of. Now, whether it works, it's never worked for me. I've tried it a couple times. But don't put the whole drive in the oven, because then you're screwing the drive. And I've also heard put them in the freezer. Now, I have no idea what you would gain out of putting them in the freezer. Potentially constricting something that was maybe, that was expanded or something. There's nothing in here that's going to really constrict. And you're just, these drives are usually pretty sealed, pretty well sealed, so I doubt you're really exposing them to moisture very much, but still, not a great idea. I just don't see any value to it, and then I have tried it too, and never actually got any results from it. So if it's something that ends up being a circuit board, bam, you're back in business. Also of note, well, let me finish this thought. But if it's something mechanical, one thing that I have done that worked, it wasn't valuable information. I just wanted to see if I could fix it. Took off all of the screws, and you're going to need like a knife or something to lift this. It's usually glued and no, this one wasn't glued. So it's just screwed down, but it's screwed down pretty well. Yeah, I don't think there was glue, but it usually takes a bit of prying to get it off, because I think they're vacuum sealed to protect them. And then you can check the head and see if the head is in the park position, which it should be. It should be up here off the platters, or if it's on the platters. And that's assuming you shut down properly, etc. And if it's on the platters, you can try gently to move the needle, the reed head back, and hopefully you're not scraping the disc when you do it. Again, not advised, but you can try this and try and park it. I've done it before. It's worked, but the drive was obviously going bad. I need to get my data off there as soon as possible. But once you've opened the drive and exposed it to the elements, you're really risking the data. So if it's very valuable, I would recommend, and you've already troubleshot the circuit board, I'd recommend that you use one of these data recovery services. They're super expensive, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. So I use Drive Savers. I've used it for multiple clients. They do a great job. I'll put my partner link down in the description. If you're in the unfortunate category of needing to do a drive recovery with a professional service, they're the ones I would highly recommend. And my partner link gives you, I think, free assessment. So normally it'd be $250, I think it is, for an assessment. I'll put all this information at the bottom in the description. There's some other little benefits, but essentially what you do is you say, crap, I need to send my drive into recovery because the data on here is very valuable to me and I can't get it off, I can't lose it, and I don't have a backup, right? So you put it in a box, you send it to them. They're in Nevada, California, I believe, over in Northern California. And they'll basically open it up, they'll take out the discs, they'll put them onto a nice special machine, and they'll try and get your data off, and then they'll contact you and let you know that they recovered your data or they weren't able to recover your data. And with my code, they don't charge you. They just basically, if they're not successful, they don't charge you. Um, and the assessment is free as well, as I recall. And then I believe there's a discount off of the recovery price as well. So a lot of value in working with a partner with them for sure, because it's stupid expensive. But so don't get into that position. Always back up your data. I've got another. Actually, I got another thing that I can recommend to you guys too. Backblaze is an awesome offsite backup. You can also use just a regular hard drive and backup locally, which I do recommend as well. But if you want offsite backups, I'll put that in the description below as well. Both great ways to basically protect your data. The best way is to protect it, back it up, so that you don't run into a situation where you actually have to pay somebody to get your data back, and then hope that they can. Drive savers can they've done a good job, but I have had one client where they weren't able to get it because they didn't get any data back because the needles were digging into the platter and just digging a ditch into the platter, so they weren't able to recover anything from that one, but usually they can. All right, well, I'm going to end it here. I hope that was a helpful tidbit. Go ahead and put any questions you have or any information you have that I might have missed, or something I might have said that you disagree with. Go ahead and put that in the comments, and I'd be happy to see what you guys have to say. Thanks very much. Hope it was helpful. Bye-bye.